welcome to our third episode of the Two-Time Podcast. You already know who I am. It's Mullet. And now we got the two-time Shaq
Yes.
R.D. How you feeling, man?
Ah, you already know.
Oh,
Excited, ready to get this breakdown from the
yes,
Super Bowl. Get
yes.
it started.
And I know that we're like late on it, but you know what? It technically it's the right time because they just had the celebration today in Seattle. So it's just perfect.
Were you
Hold on.
there?
I'm gonna test one thing right quick. You ready? Tell me if you could hear this. Can you hear
Uh,
this? No?
mm-mm.
Darn. Well, I figured since we're live, we will give it a shot. But
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. That's an old school one.
right. All right. Super Bowl reaction. 29-13. The Seahawks Super Bowl champions. I knew it for weeks. I didn't want to say it out loud until recently. I mean, you got to admit, I was pretty humble about what I thought about Seattle up until the championship game. That's when I started just, you know what, we're going, baby.
That's
um,
the right thing.
you know what, the thing that I liked about it most, there's so many fans that are like delusional about their team, right? And you know how the EASPN analysts are just force feeding us, Sam Darnold force feeding us the narrative of like how all these things are gonna go, and then me and you talk, and what happened what happened was what we said happened, right? What did I say? I said that was going to be our D line versus their
Hmm.
offensive line. I you keyed on AJ Barner. We keyed on Kenneth Walker. Like that was the key. We called the game right down the middle, and I couldn't be happier with the way that it went. I know a lot of people say it was boring. For
Hmm.
me, however, I don't. I felt like it was more exciting than people want to admit because of how well the defense played. Uh, Defense is my favorite part of football outside of the running back position. I think it goes running back, defense, quarterback. Like that does those three in that line.
Hmm.
Um, so I love the game. I didn't think it was as boring as so many people are trying to tell me. But what about you? Like, what is your feelings on it? You take it away.
I mean, it was, it wasn't the most exciting. Of course, from your point of view, it was a great game. If I'm a Patriots fan, I thought it was horrible. But as a third party, I think it was a good game. I think all the way up till late in the third quarter, when the Patriots only got one possession in the whole quarter, that's when they kind of settle in. And it's like, okay, like it's in the Seahawks pocket. And then it's, unless there's a catastrophic collapse, the Super Bowl is over. And yeah, like it literally, uh, Devontae May came in the garbage time MVP. Dude had like 60 yards in the last quarter. He threw for 235. Oh yeah, like when you're behind like 20,000 points, whatever, get 400 if you want. But shout out to the Seahawks. You could tell that every time Shahid got the ball on a punt or on a kickoff, everybody was on the edge of their seat. And there were a couple of ones that he knew that it was like, damn, it was just one more move and it was over. So shout out to him. Shout out to the special teams. Shout out to K9, the well-deserved MVP. And shout out to Sam. People till the Super Bowl were disrespecting, saying that, oh yeah, he's gonna choke, he's gonna choke. I don't believe him. I will ask him based on what? I don't know. It's my feeling. So if they weren't going by feelings, and since they wanted to use feelings, they were wrong, of course. And the facts were right again. We were right again. I almost got the Seahawks score. Of course, I didn't. I said 31. They got 29. And then the Patriots were not even close. I said 21. They got what, 13? Yeah,
Yep, 13.
13. Yeah, so one more touchdown, I would have been right, but in a 2-point conversion, but whatever. Who cares? I was wrong, but I picked the right winner.
Yeah, I was close on the point differential, right? I picked 15-point lead and it ended up being 16. However, I was 35-20. Still close though, still close.
Hmm.
I don't feel like the delusional fan, you know what I mean? I'm vindicated. It's a vindication.
And it was the right thing, bro. Like, it's you're that's your team, of course. So it's really not possible to not be biased. But I think you did a very good job just trying to call it in the middle and trying to be unbiased. And yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah. So the Mrs. Mullet with the first comment. So I wanted to make sure you could see that, right? You can see that.
Yeah, I see that. I see
Let's
that. I see that.
go. All right. Perfect. I will admit, like on their punts, I was waiting for the Shaheed impact the whole time. So every time it came up, like I was literally starting to stand up, and he did have that one return for like 10 yards, and I started going like, "Oh, here's it. This
Here
is."
we go.
I was waiting for it so much. I was sad that it didn't happen. However, um, on the defense. If I did a parlay, I would have won so much money. I called the game straight down the middle. The 5+ sacks, right? The defensive
Facts.
touchdown, right? Uh, the points over 10 because that's what I would have put, and obviously the money line. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So the Uchenna Nwosu interception return, that was probably the most exciting play of the game.
It was.
You know, Uh, you know what? There's another play I really liked. The screaming sack from Witherspoon. You know,
Oh
watching
yeah, yeah.
watch
He had two though. He had or three.
it was the one on third
No, he
down. He like came right from the nickel and just I just didn't see it coming. And when you watch your team
pause.
as much as I do, if you watch your team as much as I do, right?
Yeah,
You see them do things in the Super Bowl you weren't like it wasn't normal to see. It was pretty exciting. Third down, sending your best corner, arguably the best defender on their side, and boom, it worked out perfectly.
no
So
lie though. Like it's kind of crazy. Just like just thinking about just like you guys as corners, because he like that dude is also not a small guy. Like he's tall as fuck. I think he gotta be at least 6'2", and I'm playing it very safe. Same thing with your boy.
Reek,
What's the name? Rick. Yeah, dude is also like 6'4", 6'5", which is not common for corners. And also for a tall corner to be so athletic that you are sending him on blitzes. And you know that. I mean, of course, the way you draw the play, you expected him to go untouched like he did, but in the case that he doesn't, and he's getting blocked by a tight end or he's getting picked up by a big ass running back, and if you're sending him, you're trusting that if that happens, he's still gonna make something happen. So that was what's up, man, and it shows a different skill that you guys as corners have that I don't know if too many teams are able to draw plays like that.
yes. I mean, there's so many stars on their defense. I'm scared in the next 3 years if we're gonna be able to sign every single one. Like we got Job that's going up. Um, we're gonna have to figure something out for Kobe Bryant, just
Yep.
this year alone. But then like once these other rookie contracts start ending, I think it's Reeks also needs an extension. I have to actually look at it, but there's quite a few players on that defensive side that needs to get signed again. And
Hmm.
they're all stars. Like they're not maybe like the X factor stars. However, they can impact a lot of teams in the NFL, and sure some of these guys are going to be sought after. Like I don't see how you don't want a Reek Woolen. Obviously, he has some.
Hmm.
We'll say, I wouldn't say issues. It's not like some AB thing, but I mean
He's
it's.
just an emotional player that
Yeah,
gotta
he's
kind
such.
of keep in control.
I kind of like that though. I hated that it happened in the championship game and gave him a first down and then a touchdown right on top of him. but I kind of like the emotional player in a way. It makes me it lets me see as a fan the passion, so I don't know. If you're a Patriots fan, like how obviously losing sucks, but how do you feel about the team going forward? Like,
No, I mean, if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm excited. I'm happy. Well, not happy, of course, but looking at the future, the just like just there's a lot of talking points. But for example, Drake May, cornerstone, had a horrible Super Bowl, but it's year two. So, and the way that the game goes, the way that the players are being protected, it's safe to expect that Drake May will probably play football for at least 15 more years, unless an injury happens or something catastrophic happens. So you got the most important position in the field covered. Do was second in the MVP. Then if you look at the weapons, I still think he doesn't really have that many weapons. Yeah, he got role players that can make an impact, but other than that, nobody reliable. And you could say maybe Diggs was the reliable person, but Diggs didn't show up. Like Diggs had 3 catches for 30 yards. Two of those catches came out in like the last minute and a half. Dix is out there spinning footballs getting after a first down like 7 touchdowns, like just clown shit. So, like in the most important game, you get this goofy, but it is what it is. Um, I am a little bit concerned though about the running game of the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson is not it. Like I think based on game script, he can have some really huge upside games. But if things don't go his way, it's a GG. And even in the pass protection, he wasn't even a factor because Drake was out there running for his life. If anything, I think they like Travion Henderson more for pass protection. And then again, maybe it seems that they don't really trust Travion Henderson's rushing. So they had to make a decision. And, other than that, the defense was decent. Defense tried to make plays towards the end of the game, and defense win championships when the offense does enough. However, their offense needed to do a lot, and they were not even close. So, but yeah, Patriots fan, I'm excited for the future. Last time or the podcast before, we mentioned that the Patriots are seventh in cap space for next year, so a lot of things to look forward to. And you got the coach of the year.
got the coach of the year. Yep. Uh, I have to admit, when we were coming into like, I got a couple things wrong of what I was worried about on the offensive side. Like, I thought Trayvon was going to be like just a bigger impact overall. Like, just the running game overall, like I thought was going to be a bigger impact. Trayvon specifically, and like if you look at the statistics that we have up, like I'm actually surprised they ran the ball, you know, this amount. Like
Yeah,
you
it
would
was
think,
horrible.
that they would just run the ball more. You know what I mean? Like I'm not kind of sounding flat here, but like the thing, like what I'm getting at is your quarterback's taking tons of pressure. He is a second year guy, and what's the best way to open it up, right? Hand the ball
Hmm.
off, and they just didn't do that. But going off some of your points, if I'm a Patriots fan, I am excited for the future too, because Drake May, and I usually don't do this, but if I were to do like a top 10 QB ranking right now, I'm gonna figure out a spot to put Drake. All year long, he was one of the two best players in the league, fighting with what, five of them, obviously Stafford and JSN and Puka and CMC. Like he was one of those five best players like all year long. So that's a phenomenal thing. Regardless what happened in this Super Bowl, what I think people fail to realize is this was the best team that they played all year long, and the best sample size they had to like try and get ready for a game like this was in the championship game that ended up having like this huge, weather impact to it. so that they're not really battle tested, if that makes sense. Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah. Because even before the championship game, no starting quarterback, especially when it comes to the playoffs, it's just a different beast. Like defenses lacking even more. Like literally in the playoffs, your offense will be successful if you are willing to do adjustments. But if you go with a game plan and you hope that it's gonna work, it's a GG. You're dead on arrival, which is, in my opinion, what happened to the Patriots. I think the game plan was just abandon the run from the beginning. And it's weird too because they run a lot of sets where Aaron Loop and Hunter Henry were on the field at the same time. So you're running these two tight end sets and you're still not running. So that was a bit weird, but yeah, yeah.
I think and I know I make fun of Collinsworth a lot, but I think he
You
I think
about to
he
do it?
ho, 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 ho! Here's a guy. No, it's just I feel like he called it right in the game. He was saying like he feels like the Patriots sold out. Like, and what he meant by that was that they were banking on Sam Darnold to give him the game, and that just did not happen. It did not happen at all. Sam did. There was three throws that were scary throughout the game. I think it was literally his first two, and then the one to JSN. And shout out to Christian Gonzalez, because if the Patriots win this game and he doesn't win MVP, that's a damn travesty because he played amazing. Besides Kenneth Walker, Sam Darnold, the punter, the kicker, right? He was the other best player on the game, like in the game for sure. Um, that's just what I had. Like, could you imagine if a corner won MVP? When's the last time a corner won the MVP? I seen linebackers, quarterbacks, running backs. When's the last time a cornerback won the MVP in a Super Bowl? That would have been insane, right?
Shit, yeah. I can see it though happening. I just can't remember, at least since I started watching football, if one did. Um, I know defensive players that won it though. Whenever your boy Peyton got his last ring, wasn't it Von
Malcolm
Miller, the
Smith.
MVP?
I thought it was Malcolm Smith that got it. The linebacker. He had
Mm-hmm.
a he had like a fumble recovery. I think he had two defensive touchdowns. I can't really remember off the head
Holy
here.
cow. Wasn't Malcolm Butler the Super Bowl MVP for the Patriots whenever he picked ya?
Was he? No, I don't think Butler was.
It wasn't, right?
No, I think that might have been Brady. Brady or Edelman.
I know Edelman was the MVP against the Falcons. I know that
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but but yeah, I mean it's not really that big of a deal anyway. Plus, there's no reason to talk about the the that last Super Bowl. So
Yeah. Look at the stats of my kickers though. Look at my kicker stats. I feel like they played a whole other game.
it was hilarious because when Jason Myers kicked the fourth one, because the first one was the only one that he almost missed, but it almost doesn't matter. But when he kicked the fourth one, I was like, okay, is this the MVP? We just got a kicker in the Hall of Fame this year. This is the year of the kicker.
The
Fuck it.
year of the kicker.
And
Get that.
that boy, Little from the Jaguars hitting 70 yarders, like it's just whatever.
Here's our
That
Super
would have been
Bowl.
crazy.
Here's our Super Bowl MVP right there, Kenneth Walker. There's no
Dog.
hiding him now, man. There's no hiding him. Uh, I think he's gonna stay in Seattle. If you watched any bit of this like celebration, Snyder made like a really flat joke. Like nobody laughed at it. He was just like, oh, he was trying to negotiate with me 5 minutes ago. That was weird, and just got
What?
crickets.
But didn't he resign with you? I thought he did.
No,
Like,
I haven't seen anything yet.
oh, I swore he did.
No, not yet.
I
I
guess
mean,
I'm drunk.
I could do a quick Google search, but
Nah, nah, I gotta be drunk then, 'cause that's your squad. There's no way you don't know that.
I mean, there's a possibility. We all have. We'll just put this. Got me searching it.
Yeah,
Nope,
nah,
no
yeah,
re-sign yet. He's still on his rookie deal. But like I said, the cat's out of the bag. Everybody's seen it. He was our most productive player in the playoffs on the offense. You know, I don't even think anybody was truly that close outside of Darnold. Darnold had a really good one game that made it close, but yeah, K9 was the de facto best player for the Seahawks run.
yeah. Literally, this dude was breaking 10-yard run. His first run is a 10-yarder after because I remember Super Bowl starts. I think he had threw a pass. It didn't work out, and then this dude, I don't know where, just gets 10 yards, and here we go. So it was like, okay, so if he's about to average 10 yards a game, then the Seahawks got it.
He
And
had a
he
very
cut
good
out
game.
where he had a 160 plus total.
Yeah, he had a
That's
very
crazy.
good game. And like that was the other thing, like that and I'm not slandering him or bashing him, but the Patriots fans were telling me, very vividly that their run defense was gonna, stuff K9, and that wasn't even gonna be a factor, And I don't know, it was nice that one run where he was like LT back there, waiting behind the line, just waiting for the crease, just shifty, and then like gets gets like a solid 10 yards. Let's go. And and I guess this is disrespectful, but I think I go right back to the divisional round when Charbonnet goes out. As soon as he goes out, I say, think I think we're winning the Super Bowl now for sure, because now it's K9 show to run, and I've been wanting this ever since his rookie year. Just do it, just do it, just do it. Not that I hate like having Charb. I think Charb's a good handcuff, but they give them splits like 50-50, right? I think after this, we re-sign K9. Let's put it to 70-30 or 65-35. I just need to see more K9 on the field. I want him to have more, just more opportunity throughout the game. Obviously, I'm a fan, but I mean, am I too biased of this? Like, am I not seeing the big picture? Like, what do you think?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that's just you guys. So you're just gonna die on that hill, which is cool because he's a good player to do it. I do think though that just Charbonnet just brings a whole different uh set of plays that you guys can run because when it comes to his hands, he's better than K9. And I do think, for example, once JSN was out of the game, the passing game was not as effective. And granted, this dude Gonzalez is out there putting a Hall of Fame performance in the Super Bowl. And now he shuts down the offensive player of the year. And then whoever he's guarding next is a GG while JSN is in the sideline hurt. I do think if Charbonnet is in the field, there would have been a couple more passing plays behind the line of scrimmage that maybe could have made Sam Darnold look a little better than he did. Not saying that he looked horrible or bad, but there was a like K9 is the MVP for a reason. Because like the passing, yeah, tried the passing, and there were a couple of plays um, that just couldn't happen because the Patriots rush got in there very quickly. But literally, it was game of inches, pause, like a couple inches, and it's like JSN has a 65-yard touchdown, maybe two. It was two of them. Shaheed literally got overthrown by literally
Oh,
centimeters, and those are bombs, you know. And even the second one, he's like, damn, like could I have been a little bit faster?
I
At least that's what the player, as a player, that's what you think.
I'm such a fan on this because I know what play you're talking about, and I was looking for the damn defensive holding. I'm like, here's no way he overthrew him. Like he's so fast, and like they, of course, they don't show the spot where they do the jostling. Like they only show the end of the throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was one of the three. He missed that one. And I know the play when he evades like the tackle, and damn, we're only up 3-0 at that point. If he floats it, just puts a little bit more air on it, that is a 60, 70 yard touchdown in the first quarter that just sets the tone.
Yeah.
Ooh, we
But
got
that one, that's why I was like I wasn't too critical of it because the Breakzilla, shout out to you, bro. There was a play that play where he misses JSN. I remember he drops back, the pressure is already there, the pocket starts collapsing, he steps up, then sidestep to the side, and literally as he's throwing it, he got like four arms in his face. So I I I don't blame him too much for the missed throws. Like literally, most of the throws were under pressure.
yeah.
So
I,
yeah,
I I mean the stats don't really tell like the whole picture for Darnold in this game. He like even my buddy was when we were watching the game, he's just like, man, he's moving so well under pressure in the pocket. Like he hasn't watched a lot of Sam Darnold. He doesn't watch a lot of Seahawks, and then he sees that the first time, and that's like one of the things he points out. He's like, look at the way this guy is moving. So the stats didn't tell exactly how well Darnold played. He took care of the ball. Um, got his team in great positions. Technically, we want to say they went 1 for 4 in the red zone. I don't care about that. All right. We got 3 field goals. That's 19 points. That's
yeah.
or I'm
People
sorry,
focusing on bullshit.
16 points. 16 points in the red zone he got. I'm good with that. And that was enough to win the game, if we're being honest. 16 points was enough to win the game.
Yeah, literally, I have here. Um, Devontae May got him in the yards, but we saw what happened garbage time. And plus, when you have like a three-score lead, why will you pass? The whole game plan is running. Nobody's here trying to repeat what the Falcons did, which is one of my biggest criticisms and why I think there is an asterisk there. But Falcons are winning 28-3, and then they run the ball four times in a whole second half. Whatever, but it's not that's not the point. Anyway, looking at the stats here, uh, two picks from Drake May against zero from Darnold. Darnold took one sack, which was for 8 yards. Drake May took six sacks for 43 yards lost, and uh, zero fumbles, one fumble from Drake. It's like and I remember you mentioned that, yeah, Darnold had 2 weeks where he threw seven picks, and even with all those mistakes and errors and all that, they still were able to keep the game close. However, you can afford that because you guys are the Seahawks, and granted, people took a long time to admit it, but you guys were the best team in the league. Um, it comes to then you're in the Super Bowl playing the best team. You don't get to make turn the ball over twice, three times, and expect to do something. So
Yeah. Go Seahawks. Brigsby, appreciate it, buddy. What's up? Thanks for joining us on the podcast. I promise we're not ignoring you, buddy. We're just flowing. Um, so I've only seen a couple of playoff games in my lifetime where a team could make as like 4 mistakes, and obviously one of them is Seattle, and it's that championship game against the Packers. I would hate to have been a Packers fan in that game. Like, golly, to be given the game like that and lose, horrible feeling probably. But yeah, it's just me seeing a game like that, and I remember those days as a Seahawks fan. uh, it felt like no matter what week, no matter which game, no matter who the opponent was, it could be any time zone. You know how they like to make that West Coast East Coast, narrative. Those guys they're still sleeping. Like they throw those things out. Like it didn't matter. Like the Seahawks found ways to win, and that's what I saw in week 11. Oh, Omaha, what's up, Papa? How's it going, bud? Welcome to the live. Um, and like that's where
What up,
the
pops?
shift. That's where the shift came. And you're right. It took forever for the media to catch up on this team. Literally forever. I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever seen a Super Bowl winner get talked less throughout the regular season than the Seahawks this season. Even the Legion of Boom, like going into play the Broncos, like that team was all over the place. Like I remember it being, once they beat the Patriots, and now that was it. The gig is up. Everybody's like, oh crap, this team's legit. You know, so I can't. What's up, buddy? So I can't. I can't really recall a team not talked about as much as the Seahawks this season, and it blows fans away, especially after this game. The amount of fans that are saying, "Oh, our Super Bowl team in blah 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 year would have kicked the shit out of this team." Yeah, bruh.
I mean, yeah, who cares? You bring all your head cannon, all your little whatever. It doesn't change the fact the trophies in Seattle. And you know it's gonna happen, which is crazy. And it kind of happened with the Eagles because the Eagles won last year, and then this year they were kind of people were still kind of doubting them and disrespecting the Super Bowl MVP. I think the same thing's gonna happen with the Seahawks. They're like, oh yes, now Sam Darnold got lucky. So now it's like there's no way that he can do it again, especially with the 49ers getting better and they barely beat them, and the Rams also coming back for revenge. Adding all these adding all these crazy things. So that's why we let them yap and we laugh at them, and then we laugh at the people that consume that BS.
Yeah, facts. Uh, that's it's funny that you say that because that is where some of the narratives like already going. Because I mean, ever since we started this, I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching other podcasts. I've been watching the EA, SBN experts. I've been watching
Don't
all
do
of
it,
them.
bro.
I've been
Don't
watching as
do it.
much as I could because now I'm into it. You know what I mean? We cracked open. The we cracked it's wide open here. All right, so um and like you see like you see these guys already talking about Darnold. Like I see the guy today. I'm not gonna put him on blast, but
Don't do it.
he said that Jaden Daniels is better than Sam Darnold, and sure, man. Uh, if I'm drafting, like I don't know if I'm taking Jaden. Like I don't know what he's done in the league for people to say that, but I don't know. I'm just a Seahawks fan, I guess.
People be hyping, the people just hype up whatever they want because you look at the hype of Jaden Daniels, like when like skyrocketed was when they beat the Lions, when people were trying to say that the Lions were the best team, talking about last year, of course, and they beat them in the playoffs at Detroit. So everybody's like, oh my gosh, like, oh, they beat the best team. Rookie, so it's just man, like there's so many things that you have to take into consideration, and that this is why, like, I say the thing about the quarterback position, and it's like, oh, who's the quarterback? Okay, so this is my decision. But it's like you're doing too much, and it kind of takes credit from other players. I think it's crazy. And look at the Redskins now. Cliff Kingsbury is fired uh, after the second year. After the first year was really amazing, rookie records and all that. So yeah, and the dude's hurt now, so we'll see how he bounces back.
Yeah, Sam Darnold no longer sees ghosts. Let him have his glory. I would draft Darnold over Jaden Daniels. I think that's what we're saying over here. All right.
Yeah,
So, do you think that the Seahawks winning changes the narrative on how teams are built? And I heard this thing, and there's a reason why I brought this up. I heard this thing the other day, um, where people or teams are trying to bring in the young rookie quarterbacks or the young quarterbacks on team friendly deals and then build the team around them, right? And I can't remember exactly who said it, but he said, you know, build the pieces, then get the quarterback, which is kind of what the Seahawks have done. Like, do you think this changes like the way teams go about it? Because I mean, if you look at the NFC, there's a ton of good rosters in the NFC, and when you look at the AFC, they have a lot of really, really good superstar quarterbacks that everybody likes to talk about with not so good rosters.
I think that that is true, but there needs to be a competent offense. I think a competent offense needs to be there. The defense can be whatever, but if you want to bring in, a rookie quarterback, a franchise face, there has to be established offense with established weapons. Because and even that, like, it's that, you know, I don't know, because you look at the Vikings had the same weapons that they had this year, and look at what happened with nine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about the Vikings, but if I look at other teams, there's a lot more teams that have all these weapons and have all the, even the Jets, like the Jets, for a while, I just kept hearing, oh, they just need a quarterback, they just need a quarterback, they just need a quarterback. And they actually went and got the vet. And granted, that's the Jets, though. It was supposed to be trash. It was supposed to be horrible because it don't matter how good it is, it's gonna be bad. But you got the Vikings. The Falcons have some crazy weapons, and look at them, negative record, not even making the playoffs. Coach is fired. So to be honest, I think it just takes more than that. I just think the Seahawks made a really good decision getting Darnold.
Yeah, and I look at some of the picks that we made. We got Byron Murphy, like that's a big one, and Gray Zabel, that's another big one. You know what I mean?
Huge. Yeah.
And I think that's way you want to build your teams is go straight through the fatties first. Okay, get your
I agree.
fatties established, because I mean, I love Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow.
That's our
All
guy.
right.
Yeah.
Like I defend everything Joe Burrow does, even when his legs are busted up and he's in crutches. You know, if the guy had an offensive line like Seattle has, like there's so many narratives that don't exist around him. And I think that's very true. They have great weapons. They really do. They've got the two of the best receivers in the league. Obviously the best one in Jamar Chase. No offense to our guy JSN, but I don't think he passed JSN or Jamar Chase.
Jamar. Yeah.
And T Higgins he's definitely top three in the league as a number two or a Y receiver. Um, so they got great weapons, but hey, you got one for me? Like
No, no, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking because I just thought instantly. I thought Devontae Adams.
Devontae
I
Adams, George Pickens, and maybe him, right?
Man, start with George Pickens. Bro, he had one good year, bro.
Oh man,
Nah, he's a beast though. He's a beast. I know you wanted to mention him, so
I
shout out
did.
to
I
you.
did. I'm like Collinsworth, man. Anytime I can, I will mention George Pickens.
Are you taking T. Higgins over Devonta Smith?
George Pickens over Devontae. Yes, I'll take George Pickens over Smith. It's
Are
close.
you
It's not a huge gap. It's not, but I think I'm taking Pickens because I think Pickens is he's got the it. All right, and I know you know what the it is, but he's got the it.
Devonta don't got it?
The Sun just can't believe that I said Jamar Chase is better than JSN.
What you mean, Big Mike? Is he not?
He's a young
1 year?
fan. He doesn't know yet.
Oh, okay, okay. Jamar Chase won the Triple Crown last year, bro. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember.
So here you go. There's the
Oi.
Cowboys
Oh
fans
yeah.
saying
You
Pickens.
brainwash the fam. I get it though. It's not
Yeah.
far though, so it's good.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Let's go. Insane early predictions. Now we haven't talked about this, so this is going to be real fun. It's going to be real natural. But when I share my screen, you're going to know exactly where I'm going with this. All right. Um, Now, obviously, I ain't gonna pick no Super Bowl winners. I will say Super Bowl contender. I ain't predicting no, off the wall uh, records or anything crazy like that. But I do think that there is a new player in the NFC. All right, and that is the Chicago Bears. All right, Caleb Williams. I am a believer. Uh, we said this before. He's like the worst best passer I think I've ever seen ever. Like
Yeah, he got different masks and he takes it off and puts it on whenever he feels like.
like the chat's making me crack up right now. Really? Yep. The Bears, yes. Now I'm not saying they're going to be the best team in the NFC. What I'm saying is that I think that Chicago is going to be a threat for absolutely next year and for years to come. And I want to see like what offseason moves they make. I seen a thing about them. They should be someone to try to get Max Crosby. However, after seeing Clint Kubiak's like speech for the Raiders, I think Crosby, the player that he is like, you know what? Let me give this guy a chance before they request the trade. I bet you. Um,
It's funny because Max Crosby had a very cryptic tweet. Uh, as soon as the season ended, he said a lot, and he had an eagle. He put an eagle at the end of the tweet. I don't know if that eagle was an eagle or if it was a cardinal. I don't
or
know if
what
it
if
was a
it's?
Seahawk.
It might have been
I
a
don't know. It was a
Seahawk.
bird, bro. Falcon. It was a bird.
Oh man. Um so here we go. I'm gonna make some early season predictions. This one's it.
Oi,
This
Brixby said
is
the Chargers. Now go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted. I keep interrupting.
okay. So Chicago Super Bowl contender, right? Uh the top three teams in the NFL are all gonna be in the NFC West. Hawks, Rams, Niners, right? Uh I got another one here on the NFC side, which I think this one might be more of a reach, but they have a really good roster. So uh, I'm gonna say the New York Giants and Dallas are gonna. I think New York Giants and Dallas are gonna be a problem in the NFC East. He's crying. He's crying.
Bro, you gotta stop,
Look
bro.
at
And
this.
so why did we post Caleb Williams' picture? If you were gonna mention three NFC West teams and Giants and Cowboys, how
Well,
about the
because
Bears?
I'll tell you. Well, I said the Bears. The Bears were the first one, but like I put
Wait,
Caleb Williams
also,
because this is the one I believe the most. I think that this is the Bears is the one I believe the most outside of like the West teams.
okay,
All right, this is the one I
bro.
believe the most.
The
Um,
Cowboys.
yeah, yeah, I got Dallas there. I got
No
Giants.
way. I
Um,
can't wait.
and here's another one. Here's another one. And you heard it here first, okay? But pay attention to what the New Orleans Saints do. All right, pay attention to what the New Orleans Saints. I like Tyler Show. I'm an Olave fan. Okay, let's just see what happens over there. I'm going to be paying attention to them because, quietly they tied their division. Quietly, like that was the one team that everybody in the beginning was like they suck, but quietly they did as good as everybody else over there, and they could have won it. You know, maybe if they beat the Seahawks, but they failed. on
Kellen
the
Moore is him.
on the AFC side, I got Chargers being a problem. I got uh, Kansas City.
Without Mahomes.
See here the pause.
Okay, because you were saying a lot of things. So I need to be 100% sure.
Yeah. I got Chargers. I got Denver. I got Patriots, although their schedule is much harder. I got Bills. Uh, I got Jaguars.
Oi,
I got Texans. And
damn.
honestly, uh, I don't know about the North. That's the biggest question mark. I guess it's easy just to say Ravens, but I don't know. Like that one's just a roulette of unknowingness. They've got Burrow and uh, Lamar in that division, and you would think that would be like a huge, like an easy division to say, oh, this team, this team, this team. But I have no clue about the North. But that's some early
Wow.
season predictions. Those are who I think's going to be on the top of each conference.
I mean, technically, I know I was laughing, but technically, you can't be wrong. This is very, very early predictions. So,
Yeah, obviously, I want to see more of the off season before I start going in. Um,
hmm.
but that's just from what I've seen, like the way the teams closed out, some of the moves that we already seen, like with the coaches, certain players coming back from injury, like like the Giants, they lost all their big guys, man. Scatterboo, Jackson Dart was out for a few weeks. They had Jameis Winston, who I love, doing Jameis Winston things, catching touchdown passes, even.
Bro, but you know the Giants won 3 games.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
So you think next year they are doing a whole just 180, just like the Jaguars and the Patriots did this year?
I'm not gonna say 14 wins by no means. Like I'm not saying that high. I just think they're gonna be a contender for that division somewhere where they're fighting. If
Oh,
you look at the amount of points they lost by throughout their games, even with the injuries, it wasn't a lot. They were in a lot of their games.
so just sorry if this is a little bit of a tangent. So if the Cowboys gonna be at the top of the division and the Giants, are the Eagles just pooping the bed, or are they also fighting, but they just are gonna just not be able to do enough?
So, you know, the Eagles are having quite a bit of changes themselves. They lost their OC, which they fired, and he had one season of hitches. I guess every single play that he ran was hitches. I guess so. They got rid of him. Um, Offensive line guy gone. They got two older linemen that are talking like they're potentially predicting are gonna retire. We don't know yet, so I'm not gonna comment on that too much. Um, it just seems like they were strong for quite a few years, right? They've been strong since 2021. Been very good actually since 2021. Um, I just think that they're getting older now. They're no longer the young team that they once was, right? And then whenever we have animosity too, plus they've got the best fan base in the NFL.
The city of brotherly love.
Yeah. And like I just honestly what I think for them, I just think they had this window and it's just starting to shut. But again, it's a little early to tell. So I want to see like the off season before I go all in on that take. It's definitely not a I hate Jalen Hurts thing, or I don't think Jalen Hurts is gonna, make it back or any of that stuff. I do think that he's very capable. In that division. He's the best quarterback in that division. Like he's the one I trust the most to win the big games. Like I'm not gonna put it past Philadelphia. They have a really good GM, really good second or third in the whole league. That team will be back. I just think their window right now is starting to close. You got nothing. He's like, I'm not ready.
Interesting.
He's like,
Nah,
I'm not ready.
interesting. Because I mean, I'm always ready. Um, I'll pick three from the NFC, three from the AFC. I think
Yeah.
Seahawks, of course, are there. I think the Bears are gonna be at the top as well again. And for the dark horse, last team, I think the Bucks, Buccaneers gonna do some damage. I know we had a little bit a little conversation about Baker and Dak next year. Baker healthy. They gotta see what Mike Evans gonna do. But if Mike comes back, that's a Hall of Famer. Of course, he's not getting 1,000, but that's a Hall of Famer. They got the young players. They got Bucky. They got Ibuka. They got Kate Otten, good, reliable tight end. And the Bucks defense, even though it's not the best, I think Todd Bowles is a defensive genius, and they might do some damage from the AFC. Bills gonna be at the top. You know, my boy Josh, he gonna figure it out. Granted, they not gonna be able to do enough, but I'll say Bills. I'll say Broncos gonna be a problem as well. And for the third team, I think the Chargers gonna be an issue. I think adding Mike McDaniel is gonna take Justin Herbert to that next level. And if he cannot do it with Mike McDaniel, it's a GG. And we've been wrong about him then. I mean, we've been right about him if he cannot get it done with him. So
Oh man, the vindication on that benching. The vindication on that benching. Like I ain't gonna lie. I don't really wish for a person's failure or their doom.
mhm,
So I'm gonna hope he proves, me wrong. I just haven't seen it since he's been in outside of the rookie year. The rookie year, like you always give the guys the pass. Even his second year, I give him the pass. But it's
mhm.
like, we're going to year six now. It's like I don't want to see any more. I don't want to see any more rookies. And I know that Peyton, my favorite player, took 7 years before he did it. You know, which was win a playoff game. But it's
He
not
was
this.
winning MVPs though.
I
Like,
think he got one in 2004. But
yeah, it's a huge difference.
yeah, it's but the thing is like I've seen it before where people were like gloating about how good someone is not winning playoff games. That's not how I feel about Herbert. I see a lot of self-inflicted wounds, a lot of self-inflicted wounds. All right, and
True.
that's like my big thing about him. Like, and again, I'm not wishing doom and gloom. I'm wishing for success, and I really do hope that he figures it out so we could be wrong, opposed to all the
Facts.
Justin Herbert slander I've been doing.
Facts. Because I hate being right. Like I really do. And I like to give people chances for them to be right because this is not a dictatorship and I don't like the spotlight on me. So I hope that Justin Herbert proves me wrong in this case. Please do it, bro.
Yeah, I will say you have a lot of the same ones I do. Just so you know. All right, I know you were hackling and chuckling. We have one big difference: Bucks and Saints. So
One? Bro,
yeah.
you said the Giants.
Well, you only gave three.
No
You
way.
only gave three
Well,
in the NFC.
I could give you seven more, and the Giants won't be there, and the Cowboys will not be there,
If the
especially with that defense. That can do whatever he wants. He can throw for 6,000 if he wants. Matter of fact, CD and Pickens can be the first duo to get 2K in the same season. It doesn't matter, bro. Like if they're gonna score 40, defense gonna give up 50. It's just it is what it is. But actually, I might be wrong though, because Quentin Williams got there in the trade deadline, and he made a difference. And the Cowboys got like two first round picks this year. I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna do. So actually, I'll take it back with the Cowboys a little bit. I think the Giants just need way too much help. A lot of help. The Anakin is a beast, but it's it's been 1 year, and he this is not nothing, but Anakin had like 3 concussions last year, and he came back after 2 of those in the same game, which is very interesting. But we'll see. He needs
Yeah,
to adjust because this is not college. This dude gonna retire early if he keeps playing that way. And he
yeah.
said it. He said, I think it was like week 15. He said, "Oh yeah, don't ask me about changing my play style. This is how I play." So stand on business.
I tell you what, I can already tell when we do make our legitimate uh before season predictions, like the ones with all the information after the off season. This is going to be
Hmm.
fun. I can already tell. All
I
right,
can't wait.
so let's move on to the last topic. Top five NFC quarterbacks. I feel like we're going to have a little bit of a debate on this one, but I've got number one, Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl champion, super an MVP. He's probably leading in most categories. Rodgers isn't. You know what I mean? You take Rodgers out of the equation, and he's leading in everything. Um, he's just a phenomenal player. Number two, I got Sam Darnold, most wins, and I don't think that wins are a straight quarterback stat. And one thing I do want to say is I'm going to talk about the situations of these QBs being a thing too. Like some quarterbacks are really good in bad situations, like Josh Allen. You know what I mean? He's a really good quarterback, but his situation isn't as great as it could be, you know? Um, so Sam Darnold, 31 wins, most all time, 2 year span. Um,
Shout out to him.
I'm a huge fan of him. It's great because we talked about this a couple years ago, so you already know. Like, there's some bias when it
Hmm.
comes to Sammy D. Um, then 2B, I got Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion. He does have that unique style, which honestly, I hope the OC that they get can recognize like what kind of QB they have. Because if I don't see RPOs in that system, I'm never watching an Eagles game next year. like, like if I don't see
That
RPO in that
was
system, get the hell out of here, you idiot.
that was hard to watch. That Eagles offense. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. And then four, I got Brock Purdy. Uh, he's just another player that's really insane under pressure. He moves really well in the pocket. He moves really good outside, off script plays. Like honestly, if this guy won a Super Bowl or two, like he'd probably be above Sam Darnold and Jalen Hurts. He's really good. Like he's really good, and I watch a lot of Purdy. And then number five, I got Dak Prescott. The body of work, strong leader, Dallas Cowboys guy. Whenever he's healthy, he's always fighting for a MVP. You know, let someone throw out Patrick Mahomes. These are NFC, not NFL. NFC. Um, so that's my
I like
five.
where this is thinking.
Let me get the Dom's top five here because I know his has got to be Brock Purdy number one.
Of course, it's not. Of course. But no order, no order. Because to be honest, like literally any any of the strengths that I give each quarterback, if their strength excels at a very high level, then I'm switching the order. But top five, of course, the MVP gotta be there, Stafford. Um,
I feel like that's the easy one, right? Like, thank God we have him there.
yeah, no, it is. Jalen Hurts needs to be there. Sam Darnold needs to be there. And then this is where we change. Baker, Baker is in there, and Caleb Williams is there. With Caleb, I know it's still very soon, but year one is year one, plus in a very, very bad offensive scheme. Then you give him a Ben Johnson, and then this is what he does. Most comeback wins in the season, and then in the playoffs, he does it in the playoffs as well. With bad weather, with whatever, which I keep hearing bad weather a lot this year, but
Like
he's
the game
getting it
isn't
done.
played outside. You know what I mean?
Oh, like Are we not planning to play football in January? What January has it been 70 degrees? So I don't get it, to be honest. But and then next year I'm expecting him to get even better, especially with another offseason with Ben Johnson. Roma Dunce took a huge step, gonna make him look better. DJ Moore is still there handling business. They got this dude, Luther Burden the third. Very that's a sleeper for next year. Slot dude, quick, he's a beast.
I
Um,
loved watching him, man. I was like, oh my god, this guy is a monster.
he's a dog,
He is,
and he does
dude.
special teams too.
Hmm.
And I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they letting go DeAndre Swift, but they also have Sikashis, or I can't really pronounce his name. He's decent, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna make a move for a running back. Brees Hall, your boy K9 is there. I don't know. If I keep playing with K9 touches, he might end up in Chicago.
Oh
But
man.
I'm not gonna put that out there. What's up, Sugar? Oh, Sugar Bear.
Yeah, what's up,
And
Shuffles?
for Baker, he's just a dog. Baker don't care if he has three broken ribs, he's suiting up. He gonna be out there. He's getting this season. He had four comeback wins out of their first wins. Four were comebacks.
One against
So
Seattle.
stay woke. He pulled up to your crib. He pulled up to the 12 man, disrespected the 12 man. He was breaking
Just
signs and stuff. He was holding things in front of fans. He was talking before the game, during the game, and after the game. And, maybe that was a different Seahawks team. I don't know,
I
but it
mean,
happened.
I don't like making excuses. We did have, I think, six starters out for the game, but I mean,
Okay.
regardless, the game went down to the wire. It was a fantastic game. I wish we got to see a second game, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a shootout.
but they were the second most hurt team in the entire NFL. Like they were the one behind the Tampa Bay the Tampa Bay, the San Francisco 49ers. Like that team got injury riddled, and we just didn't. What could have been, turned into we will never know now. Um, so
Facts.
the thing is about Caleb, right? Like I've seen so many good things from him, but I've seen a lot of bad. And I agree with you that he's going to be better next year. I'm just not quite ready to put him up there. Like if I were to make this list to 7, 8, 9, right, my next four right below them, Baker, Caleb, Goff, and Love. Like those would be my next four, like below them. Um, but I could easily see. I mean, hell, if the season's good enough, like I honestly, and I'm not. This isn't a take. Like this isn't me predicting
Yeah.
anything. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if next year somehow, some way, Caleb's in the MVP race. Like that would not surprise me at all. I would just be like, well, okay, my eyes are telling me exactly what I'm seeing right here, and he really is that good. Um, for Baker, uh, it just hasn't happened yet. Like he's basically Dak Prescott. You can interchange them back and forth where they're at. He's got stronger arm. He does have the way better attitude, though. I'll give you that. Like I love Baker Mayfield antics. Like I can't get enough of them. I could watch them all day. Like Baker is that guy. Um, you know, it's just Dak is just a little bit more consistent. That's all. A little bit more consistent for me. But I think your list is solid. I agree with you. You know what I mean? I don't really disagree with you. I got my guys, you got yours. So
Yeah,
my
basically.
question to you though, if you were to extend yours 7, 8, 9, like does that where Purdy and um Dak fall for you too?
Purdy for sure.
Yeah.
Purdy, I used to rate him lower, but he's close. I'm not gonna lie. He's close, and the dude is actually nice. And
He's the
for
craziest stat I've ever seen. 400 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I've never ever seen that, and I don't think I'm ever going to see it again.
wait, who was that?
That's Brock Purdy. He
That he
ran
was
for
running around?
for 400 yards and the 41-6 loss. That's why like if anybody were to tell me that Brock Purdy played like ass that game, I'm just not going to listen to him.
Yeah, nah, I like that. I like that. And if I was on my BS from before, then I would have definitely have to change my mind after hearing that one. But don't you like Jared Goff? You don't think he's there in front of Jordan Love?
I didn't really like sit down and like kind of rate which one of those would be next. I would have to like look at it a little further.
Mm,
But I mean, Goff's done a lot, right? Like he's been to a Super Bowl. He led a 15-2 Detroit Lions team last year. They did have a fall off this year, but I mean, I think they were second in the league in DVOA. Just had a
the
lot of tough
BOA.
losses. Yeah, the DVOA is defense versus offense average. Um, like
Oh, I haven't heard that
Yeah, well, they're saying this is like
one.
they're saying like this is like the best metric to like evaluate like teams like right now, like
Mm.
and it is pretty solid, because I mean honestly, I mean I don't think the Lions were bad last year. Do you think they were bad?
Bro, they won 3 games, bro.
The Lions won 9.
Oh my bad, my bad. I thought you said Giants. My bad, my
Oh
bad,
my
my bad.
god,
I'm tripping. That,
you
that
are,
Giants
bro.
take is still
The
there.
Giants take
Nah,
is still in there.
no, no. The Lions did win on games, even though
Yeah,
it was a bad year.
yeah. So I mean, yeah. Again, I just think those four guys are interchangeable. I do think that Love is kind of. Oh man, God, you love rivalries. I love rivalries. Let's go, Sugar. He's ready. He's ready. He got the boxing gloves on. Like, who likes the lines in here?
It, if you cannot beat 9, can you be considered nice? That boy 9. I want to see what you're gonna. Actually, I'm not even. I don't want to do
You should do it. It's fun.
it. Now, I do want to bring this up though, and this is just in case there's some Drake slander. Because yeah, I was wrong about the MVP, and he played really bad, made me look bad. But I'll bring this up.
It was the closest race we had in a while. I don't think you look bad at all. Just throwing that out there.
Thank you. That's why you're my guy.
Pause.
But I'm gonna mention the stats, and I'll give you 3 guesses. Actually, I'll give you 2 guesses to see who am I talking about. And this is a quarterback that played in the Super Bowl within the last 7 years.
Okay.
So these are the stats. 26 completions out of 49 attempts, 53.1% completion rate, 270 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a passer rating of 52.3. Rushed for had 5 carries for 33 yards with a longest run of 11 yards. Sacked 3 times for a loss of 27 yards and 1 fumble. Who am I talking about?
All right. I'm gonna ask you a question. Did they win or lose?
They lost.
They lost, so it's a losing quarterback. Last 7 years. Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Can I
Yeah,
guess
you
the
say
game?
you know ball.
Can I guess the game?
You can, but
Was
it's
it
it's
Tampa
only
Bay?
one game. Yeah, there was only one game. He
Yes,
looked
let's
that bad.
go.
Yeah.
Well, he did
Yes.
not play so good against the Eagles either. He did not
No,
play
but it
so good against the
wasn't.
Eagles.
It wasn't something like this.
Yeah.
And I'm just bringing it up because Mahomes had 26 out of 49 passes. Drake May had 27 out of 43. Mahomes 53% completion rate. Drake May 62%. 270 yards from Mahomes to 295 yards from Drake. 2 picks for both. 2 passing touchdowns for Drake. 0 for Mahomes. So yes, Mahomes had a really bad game. I mean, Drake had a bad game, but we've seen worse than this from the
Yeah.
boogeyman. How? my friends like to call them. So, so yeah, in year two, you had a bad game in the Super Bowl. It's not the end of the world. So,
You know, my favorite player of all time. All right, my favorite player of all time, Mr. Omaha himself, had one of the worst games I ever seen in Super Bowl history, and it was one that he
yes,
won against the Carolina Panthers. The Cam Newton, I don't want to,
it's Superman.
business decisions. All right, Cam Newton business
Yeah,
decisions on that.
crazy.
Quoting you, bro. Quoting you.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the he had a podcast the other day, and he was like, "Oh yeah, when after that loss, I knew for a fact that I was going back to the Super Bowl." Oh yeah, so that's what I'm looking at Joe Burrow. Are you going back to the Super Bowl? Is Drake May going back to the Super Bowl? We'll see. This doesn't really happen like that, which is why I keep telling everybody, if the team makes it, you gotta get it done, regardless of excuses, whatever.
I think
So
it's great that you brought up that point because if and I swear to you, this is exactly how I felt. If Darnold had, his seeing ghosts, game against the Patriots through four interceptions and they lost, there wouldn't be a doubt in my mind that they would not ever make it back with this team with Darnold at QB. There wouldn't be a doubt in my
facts.
mind. And like this is why, like when I was talking about Darnold, I kept telling people, like, listen, he's now in these situations for the first time in his life. And the more he wins, the more dangerous he's gonna become. And getting this getting this win,
Love
like
that.
I'm telling you, like
Let's
getting
see
this
it
win,
come.
it's pretty huge. It's you definitely have more of a chance to go back with a win than you do with a loss.
Facts. Facts. And if you don't go back, you got the chip. So
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I'll ride that ship too because it's this was it was unexpected,
bro, that was
unexpected,
the and I'm glad
unexpected
you got the
season.
standard no jersey and he didn't let you down. No, you
I know,
know.
like I'm telling you, the vindication of this season has been it's been glorious. All right, like like who ended the Seahawks first almost dynasty? All right, it was the Patriots first, right, and then the Rams decided to get cute, and then all of a sudden it's the Niners getting cuter after that, and I'm just over here
Mm,
just like
bro, but
just
is
waiting.
that's cool though, bro. Like the NFC West is just insanity because like like even those are the three, top dogs, whatever. So what happens to the Cardinals? Having to play each of these teams twice every single year, a team that can seem to figure it out to get off the ground. What are you even looking forward to? So
Uh,
that's
that's the
hilarious.
that's the thing about this division, right? That I've been noticing all the way back in like the late 2000s, right? Like they're playing and making moves to beat each other. You know what I mean? And it's getting to the point where their teams are so damn stacked. Like going off rosters, just go off rosters. There's no team in the NFL that besides the Broncos, maybe. The Broncos is the only one I can really think of that matches up well against the other three NFC West teams. There's so many stars on both of their teams. I mean, like, think about what happened in the NFC West this year. We had a Super Bowl winner, right? We had the Offensive Player of the Year and the MVP all come out of that division. You know what I mean? Like, plus it was the best the best division in history, I believe. I don't know if total record, but having three teams with 12 wins. So for
That's
me,
crazy.
for me, Arizona, like it's just a matter of time because I know that their GM's just over here like, oh, here we go again. We're last place. They're gonna pick on us, but they crept up on us before that 20. I think it was 2015 year. They came out of nowhere. I was just like, well, how the hell did they win the division? You know what I mean? And then they showed their ugly faces in 2019. Um, I just never count them out. They're
You
they're
can't.
they're they're not like they're not like the like the Browns, for instance. They're not like the Browns where every year, like no matter what, besides one season in the last 25 years, that they've been shit. Like the Cardinals find a way. It's just thankfully they haven't been able to produce a dynasty like team like the Rams, Niners, and Seahawks have. But I'm sure their time's coming.
We'll see because
Yeah,
it seems that I don't think they're even close. And
not
even
right
with
now for sure.
this coach hirings, they just signed Nathaniel Hackett as a passing coordinator thing. You look at the Jets when they had one of the worst offenses in history, and that man was the offensive coordinator. And then he couldn't figure it out with Rodgers and everything, which was his boy. So,
Yeah,
and the coach, I forgot the coach they signed, but it's also some guy that there's just no faith. I think it's the Cardinals are just. It's like the Browns whenever the AFC North was insane. It's just that they're just gonna be bottom. And yeah, you're gonna make it difficult because even the Browns, they will have certain games, it's divisional, so sometimes it's a really hard fought game. But yeah, just playing for week 5 matchups and just to make it harder. That's about it.
the NFC North is really good too. The NFC North, like they didn't have a single team with a losing record,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The NFC North
and
is tough.
like it's weird because I know I didn't list the Packers like in my super early season predictions, but that's another team that I sit there and think to myself like they are built well. You know, look, somebody that paid attention to the Discord, baby. um, but like the Packers are built really well, and if they're the team that comes out of the North, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Uh, like that's another player too. Jordan Love, if he's in the MVP conversation, you know, again, I'm not surprised. You know, I can't wait for the next season. I know that just ended, but damn, football is starting to get better. Like it really is. It's starting to get better. There's more teams that are stronger. Defenses are on top. Um, this is why I think the narratives are starting to change, man.
We'll see. I have no faith in that boy Love. Jordan Love, I don't think he got it. I think the best thing we saw from Love was that win against the Cowboys at their crib a couple years ago in the playoffs, and
Hmm.
I think that's just what it. Even your boy, um, what's his name,
Malik Willis,
Malik Willis. Some people were saying that Malik was looking better than Love, but
bro,
oh, and
bro.
Sugar, I cannot bring that up right now, bro. Like that, I'm not gonna do my boy like that in public. I already did it once, so
We had
one time
fun,
was
bro.
enough.
No, we had fun.
But let's wrap this up because it's about time for
Yes,
me.
it is. I didn't even realize it was that late.
Are we vibing though? I
Yeah,
like it.
we did. All right, guys, that we're just gonna end it. If you like what you saw here today, there's gonna be more of them. I'm gonna do my best to, I'm sure Dom as well. We're gonna do our best to keep making these lives. It's gonna end up being on a different YouTube channel, not the next one or the one after that, but I think like our episode 6 or between 6 to 10, we're gonna have a completely different YouTube channel for this. And again, thank you guys for joining us. Uh, have any closing arguments over there?
No, no, no argument, no pointer or nothing. I will say though, I know the season just ended, but stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot of things to talk about. Fantasy, even the scouting for the NFL draft. We're gonna be on top of that. See our predictions for the draft and everything. And the combine is coming up. Let's see if we're gonna cover that. But there's more content coming up, so I hope you guys stick around, and we do appreciate your continuous support. We really appreciate a lot.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Like, the stream, and thanks for all the comments for everyone that joined. Wife, kid, Brigsby, Sugar. Thanks so
The
much,
real
guys.
heroes.
Have a good night. Peace.
Peace.